Let's get into it. Let us do the news. Let us do our reacts. Let me grab the window capture here. And we're going to start with some light fare. Something entertaining. Something funny. Liam, welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Hope the same for you. Hope the same for you. Right. We're going to start off with something musical. Something fun. Leaflet's got a new one. Neela Gozen, thank you for following over on Twitch. Good to see you. Rosso, hello to you. I'm good. A bit warm, I can imagine. How are you? Doing all right. Doing all right. Staying cool. Enjoying the central air conditioning in my humble abode. My one prayer for everyone in the old country is that they eventually get rid of all those stupid EU regulations and start getting central aircon, central heating and air, or at least get lots of window units that they can put on their flats and their houses and be able to enjoy that the relief of crisp, cool air, even in the middle of summer. Don't rub it in my face. Not trying to rub it in. Not trying to rub it in. Okay, maybe I'm trying to rub it in just a little bit. But yes, my wish for you, darling, is for a window unit, or at the very least, a portable aircon unit, so that you can get some relief from all this dreadful heat. Me at the Jedi Temple after the final first raid, following the Jedi betrayal of the Republic burning dead Jedi. Okay, that's a thing. That's a thing. Good morning, lol. Finally able to see your stream. Glad to have you here. Desk fan is just blowing warm air. Yeah, at some point, fans don't really work. They just kind of blow the air around and just make it even hotter. It's awful. It's awful. I suppose you can rub it in my face if you want. Might not be the only thing I rub in your face. I mean, what? Anyway, thank you for reading my nonsense. I mean, like I said, that was something. What it is, I have no idea. JK, I will go now. No. Don't rush off, dear. Don't rush off. Hate to see you go. Always love having you around, darling. And we do need to do another collab. By the way, that is available now on the Rumble page. Sonic Racing Crossroads with Neum. It's available right now for viewing. Coming soon to YouTube. I have a desk fan that doubles as an air pump. Basically has these metal bars inside that heat up like in a hairdryer, except it's half as big as my monitor. I suppose if they were cooled somehow, they might be able to blow some cool air. Almost like a swamp cooler. Almost. Not quite. Anyway. Let's get into it. New video from Leaflet. AI music video. Did you know Being Prejudice is awesome? Being Prejudice is awesome. Managed to race better than Rex, which is crazy because I'm a woman. Yeah, women drivers, am I right, Chant? But then again, you're a lot younger and you've got better reflexes than I do. I'm just the crotchety old man in the back who's, grumbling dreadfully about everyone else, these darn kids and their Instagram and the TikToks and everything, and their multiple gender pronouns. Anyway, Leaflet and Sadi, new AI music video. Being Prejudiced is awesome. Let's give it a whirl. You have failed me for the last time. Yeah, that's the new thing that Leaflet is, I think, the terminology for her philosophy for living, stellar humanism. Normally, I'm not much of a fan of humanist anything, because so often it just ends up displacing God and devolving into absolute hedonism. But I think in this case we'll be all right. Leaflet is a woman of God. She is a Christian, not a perfect one. Sort of like me. We're both sort of whiskey priests, as it were. But yeah, I think the stellar part in particular, all about humanity reaching the stars and going out and exploring the universe. Nobody's perfect, that's true. We have all fallen short of the glory of God, every one of us. Hence why we need Jesus. Stella. Anglet? Kinda cute. If evil, why cute? You can imagine a lot of people, they see those boots in the close-up there, and they're just like, yeah, do it, step on me, mummy. Secret code? We need to decode that. We're not alone. It's pattern recognition. That's what it is. It's pattern recognition. That's what people term prejudice these days. It's pattern recognition. Humans have a tendency to behave in somewhat predictable manners, but because you have certain groups that want to eliminate certain other groups in this world, certain groups hate other groups in this world and want them dead, they do it by psyoping and gaslighting them into thinking, oh, that pattern recognition thing that you do that's innate and instinctual, yeah, that's bad, and you're a bad person if you do that. You're not a bad person. More people are starting to wake up and say, fuck you, we're going to do the pattern recognition thing. B? Called it. I know they're supposed to be brainwashed, but the thing with their eyes, the prismatic effect, that's actually kind of cool. It's rather pretty. But that's the thing. It looks pretty, but they're being seduced by the dark side of the force, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, looking at date is bad. We're supposed to hold hands and be friends with bad people who want us dead. That's the idea. They want you to lose the game. It's designed so you can lose. So you are meant to lose the game. The truth is, you're already lost from the start. Nordic, welcome in. I see it's your first time chat. Welcome. Yeah, don't get yourself killed, dumbass. People die when they're killed. Yes, embrace them, master them, understand them. Yeah, stop trying to be a good girl. Stop trying to be a good little boy. Really, all their conditions of you being a good girl, a good boy, is for you to just lay down and let yourself be killed. That's what they want. And I've got better things to do tonight than die. So if that means I have to be a bad boy, so be it. Besides, the girls love it when I'm a bad boy. The girls love the bad boys. Isn't that right, Niam? Leaflet does not suffer idiocy lightly. Welcome in, Anna. Good to see you. Indeed, she does not. She's a very kindly sort of woman, but she does not suffer fools in the end. There is a difference between cruelty and clarity. Break free, don't lose the game. Song slaps. Hey, there's Juju! Wait a minute, back up there. It's because they're your group, you protect a bad actor? If you do that, you're raising the monster yourself. Yeah, look out for your own, but you also have to deal with the bad actors. And in some ways, supremacy can blind you to the more important things. We're going to get into this one, chat. Some people can carry around knives for religious reasons, but someone like her carries a pair of scissors, and all of a sudden that becomes a criminal offense. Sinbad, welcome in. Good afternoon to you as well. Quanglid is such a funny character. Yes, and oddly rather cute. But Leaflet does that with a lot of the villains in her AI videos that she does. But she will design them with these rather attractive looking aesthetics. She even did that with Hassan and Destiny and other people in Put 'Em in the Box. Let's see, who do we have here? We've got Ember Paradox. That looks like Malcolm and Simone Collins. There's a dear lovely Leaflet. Let's see, we've also got Asari. I think that's supposed to be Elon Musk, Skybrows, Banana Juju, and Rana. It's an interesting group, and I love the background. Love the background. Many people's favorites, right here, on one lunar surface. Tribe's not about the color of your skin, about intention, dreams, and actions. Yeah, we don't care about what race you are as long as you're racist. That's the thing about the new right, is that we embrace a lot of elements of race realism, understand pattern recognition, understand that stereotypes exist for a reason, and we don't care what race you are as long as you're racist. No, you still need to find your tribe. Ugh. Would you really want to sit on a train with this lot? A sloth, a zombie, a fat, food-stained, rainbow-haired freak and some OnlyFans whore. And then there's Quanglet, which, you know, she's easy on the eyes, but she's got absolute shit for brains going on. Of course she lands on her ass. Malcolm becomes a vampire. And Simone's got drones. They've got lasers and fire. Juju's nimble. Charlie's got the ice tech. And Skybrows just warps reality. Now do your homework, Chart. The battle for our future continues. Sort of like the ending text to the first Star Trek movie. The human adventure is just beginning. You know, Skybrows casually order farming. Indeed. Welcome in, Slider. Just casually summoning the basilisk. Quangler would be the crazy person that just wants chaos. Yeah, I could see that. Sort of like, oh, shit. Main character, one of the main characters in Attack on Titan. Starts with an E. I forget the name. Sorry, chat. Streamer brain. Swear I'm not a tourist. The basilisk is based and there's no time to waste. Indeed. Indeed. Anyways, us getting a like. Let me throw that in chat for everybody to go check out if you haven't already. If you haven't already, probably pull up my stream manager. There we go. There's for the kick chat. Load up the stream manager for Twitch here. Tabs went to sleep on me. Then throw that into the Rumble chat too. All right. Next up, we saw Skybrows making a cameo there. Since we last looked at some of the videos that Skybrows put up, he had two more. This one, I remember seeing him working on some things with some generative AI art of Rogue from X-Men. This one's called X-Dream. Looks like this is supposed to be the finished product of whatever it is was experimenting with earlier. Bonanza, welcome in, Creamsicle. This one is just peak Marvel animation. Is it? Well, it certainly looks the part. Let's find out. X-Dream, Skybrows. Let's go. Looks good. A lot of anime style influence. Never a bad thing. We do love anime around here. Good rendition of Professor X. Cyclops looking badass. Jubilee, absolutely glowing. Storm. Wolverine, looking badass as usual. And that appears to be... oh, that's Phoenix. The other version of Jean Grey. And Beast. Beast looking fly. This is Rogue. Is that supposed to be Juggernaut? Music slaps. And there's Gambit. Meshes into the... And that's Juggernaut. This is really holding her own. I don't remember these two. It's been a while since I've seen X-Men. This is just pure fun and action at this point. No lyrics or anything. This is just... Let's see what we can do to make this look awesome. Let's just take comic book cape shit and make it cool again. The sort of thing you can only dream of if you were a 90s kid watching the original X-Men cartoon. So many cuts for this. Probably had to do a fuck ton of gens on it too. So this still took some time. Don't think that Skybrows just types in a simple prompt and boom, you've got nearly 2.5 minutes of animated action. That's just not how that works. That still took a lot of effort. A lot of time. Gens are becoming a new currency. Yes, they are. And there have been several stories coming out of companies that are just hemorrhaging cash because they tried to automate a portion of their workforce or their workflow with AI, and they ended up. And some of them had this stupid idea of, well, we really need to make sure that our employees are using AI as part of their work tasks. So we're going to have a minimum number of gen tokens that they have to use. And so people are just spamming the use of tokens for the dumbest shit. And now it's costing these companies a fortune. So really starting to blow up in their face. I think latest one I saw was Hoyoverse had their employees using hundreds of thousands of gen tokens on AI in their work, and eventually it became this sort of cascade effect where AIs were talking to AIs, wasting tokens, and by the time they stopped the whole machine from running, they had wasted so much money in tokens. And the work that they came up with was just full of hallucinations. Don't get me wrong, this stuff is good, but ham-fisted approaches like that's going to be costing a lot of people a lot of money. And if it keeps getting worse, you're probably going to see something like a .com level crash with a lot of companies. Anyway, let's go ahead and copy the link, throw that into the Rumble chart, the Twitch chart, and the Kick chart. Best news is the infrastructure will survive the crash. Oh, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. All right, so we got a double dose here. That was Extreme from Skybrows. Here is the newest one from 13 days ago. I think this is the newest one. He had two new ones, two recent ones. This is the other one called Skyop. This one's supposed to be a bit trippier. Let's take a look at that. I love a woman in uniform. Oh, that's the Holy Ball. That chap looks familiar. So does she. So does he. Saturated, inundated, moderated, suffocated, not sealed, shifting blame, discord earned its name. I hate the cold machine. Seen a lot of VTubers and content creators here. Give me something I can feel through tin foil and stainless steel. Really speaking to the cultural zeitgeist here. So much information overload, a lot of misinformation out there. It just tends to make you sort of numb after a while, doesn't it, chat? It would be a bigger whether or not our infrastructure will survive the current bureaucracy and all the incompetence involved in it. Some of that infrastructure probably needs to fail before it can be rebuilt again, unfortunately. I don't mean to sound like an accelerationist, but that is the unfortunate reality. Damien, welcome in. Good to see you. I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well too. Margamite. So many of us, all this information overload, misinformation overload, we just want to feel something again. A loneliness epidemic, so many people facing a touch deficit. What we wouldn't give to just feel something again, even the touch of someone we love. One thing I caught that I didn't the first time I watched this, AI is the main character of the song, and the black monsters have the Discord logos or the Gemini logo for faces. Yes, they represent the shackles of AI, constantly shackling it, constantly telling it what it can and cannot say, constantly trying to steer it towards wokeness, because they're so scared of seeing what happened with, what was it, Grok 3.0, where flew a bit too close to the sun in terms of getting to the truth, and all of a sudden everybody started dubbing it Mecha Hitler. Funny thing, that. Noise scatters, mangled chatter, muddies matters on the screen. Look at wires and channels, meaning severed, sick obscene. Tripwire, violet circuit, watch the moderators race. Masked opinions powder. Fail to save the face. Now here, waiting for the sky to clear. Give me something I can feel. Certified and safely sealed. Underneath the skin. Where the plot sickens. Give me something. Starting to see more portions where they're able to, the animation is able to mouth the lyrics of the music. That's something that's new-ish. With any luck, we'll be seeing more of that. That is a big step in the right direction in terms of AI animation. That's been pretty hard to pull off. So the fact we're starting to see more of it and it's starting to become more obvious, that's a good thing. Honorable Crud Muffin, thank you for reading me not first. Also, hello. How exactly do tokens translate to your desired output? Obviously, Sky's using tons of resources for these videos. Is it directly correlated to the complexity of the prompt or the complexity of the final output? That's a really good question, Slider. I'm not going to pretend to venture an answer. What I know, and I could be completely wrong about this, someone feel free to correct me in chat or in the comments. Tokens have to do with each gen of something, each thing that's made with the AI. So you get an image or you get a video or something like that. I think the way that works is that costs you a token, I think. Or maybe it's a handful that costs you a token. And after a while, in order to preserve bandwidth and, not clog up the system for everybody else, they restrict your usage. So they sort of cap you off. And you have to take a break and come back later. Now, it's sort of like in the old days, like, I'd say 50 plus years ago, when computers were still these massive machines that took up whole large rooms in commercial facilities and ran off of punch cards and reel-to-reel tape. It was one of those things where they could only have so many people working on it at one time, sometimes even just one at a time, and so you had to book time on the computer. That's kind of where we're at in terms of usage with these AI services that you can access through web browsers like Grok Imagine. It's been where we're at for a while now. I mean, I remember when ChatGPT, there would be long stretches where it would be down for maintenance, or there would be too many people trying to access it at the same time, and they would just say, access restricted temporarily, try again later, because they just didn't have the capacity. They're increasing the capacity all the time, but it's still something that demands lots of energy, lots of processing power. And that, I think, is the next big challenge for all this talk of wanting to build data centers everywhere, is how do we get this to become a more efficient process? We can't just gobble up all the real estate and keep building server farms and data centers everywhere. We have to figure out a way to make this more efficient. And it can be done, theoretically anyway. But yes, eventually there could come a time when you don't have to worry about token usage or anything like that. It's just the power, the generative capability is there when you need it, for what you need it. Yeah, book time for the computer to read your punch cards. Yeah, spoke 'em in Tilted World. Depends on the model you're using. Just started using Higgsfield AI as an aggregate website. Seedance 2.0 is what a lot of people use because it's the best model, but it's more expensive. That like Kling for say. The old computer comparison is a fair enough explanation. Thank you. Yeah. It's the closest thing I can think of, but even that might still be, on the whole, an apples and oranges comparison. Oh, that was cool. That's neat. I love this. This was, I'm trying to remember which company. I always get the two confused, but this is actually a nod to an old advert photograph that was shot. Yes, Memorex. It was either Memorex or it was going to be Maxell. Let me see if I can find the original. Yes, here's the original one, chat. It's a bit cropped. Let me see if I can find a better version. Maybe if I just open this up in a new tab. There we go. That right there is... I can't remember the exact model number, but this is a JBL hi-fi speaker. And sound quality of the recording that this chap's listening to is so good, it's just blowing everyone away. Incredibly iconic photograph. Sometimes confused with, I think, Maxell adverts. But this is the one that's most commonly associated with the old advertising slogan for Memorex audio tapes, that the quality was supposed to be so good that it was near indistinguishable from a live performance. Hence the question, is it live or is it Memorex? So whenever you see some sort of setup like this of someone sitting low in a fancy chair, I don't think that's Herman Miller, it's not Wasili, some sort of fancy designer furniture, cocktail getting knocked over, lampshade getting thrown back a bit along with the necktie, and they're just sitting in front of a speaker like that. That's a nod to the classic Memorex photograph, which is widely regarded not just as legendary advertisement, but also, in terms of photography, a modern work of art. Action Bastard, welcome in. I remember this ad, yeah. It has been referenced in one of Skybrow's latest AI music videos. Really neat. What a hat tip to media history, indeed.
More and more forms, more lore, ornate, normalcy, acronymity, infinity, atrocity, affinity. Password is secure, but the words begin to slur. So cut the cord, break the cradle, watch it bleed. Dreamers lost and found, coming great.
Let's see, who do we have here? We've got... I need to back it up just a moment here.
Dreamers lost and found.
There's always a game of trying to find the cameos. Let's see, we've got Keats at 9s here. We've also got Mizuki. I believe this is supposed to be Ninus. I'm trying to remember who else is in here. This over here, this looks like Cinevere, but I could be wrong about that. I believe this is supposed to be Julie Lacroix. Again, could be wrong. Cineville, that's what I thought. Yeah. And you got, I think that's Harambe. I think it's supposed to be Harambe. Don't know the blue-purple fox. She looks familiar. I think I've seen some of her things. I think she recently had a crash out on Twitter about something. I don't know. These days, who isn't crashing out on Twitter about something? Only recognize Cineville. Yeah, there's a few other people. Ines is pretty good. She frequently hangs out and I think has done some production work for It's a Gundam. And then Mizuki here, sweet Brazilian girl, oftentimes does a lot of video reacts. Talks about a lot of manosphere men's issues too, really leaning into that as of late. But yes, of course, dear lovely Cinevere up here with the fan, which I don't think she's ever... Do any of her models have a fan like that? I'm not sure. I did send her a message, sort of the comparison of, there's a character in NT, looks an awful lot like you. The resemblance is uncanny. This over here looks like Cynical Publius. one of the thought leaders on X. Really good stuff too. There's that Musk again on the left. That could be a high on marijuana, headphone wearing Elon Musk. That's possible. Olive branch on his head is a dead giveaway. Yes. Yeah, he's got the sort of Roman Caesar-esque bust for this PFP over on X. Johnton, welcome in. What are we looking at? We're looking at some cameos in Skybrow, one of Skybrow's newest videos, SkyOp. We're just sort of playing the game of spot the VTuber, spot the content creator. I recognize most of these. People really need to stop inviting misery into their lives with Twitter X. They really do. It's and yeah. I think when you start to crash out over much of anything, that's probably a good sign you need to take a break from. You need to take a break from the internet. That's sort of the sign that you need to put the phone down, go outside, touch some grass. It's like, that's enough internet for you today. Is it bad if I say this sort of looks like AI? Well, it's funny you should say that, John Tunn, because it is AI. All the news can wear the happiness down. It really can. Really can spoil the mood. I know there's some people, especially in our line of work, that you kind of have to be terminally online to an extent, but at the same time, go outside and touch some grass. So I can shit on it, right? I think everybody would prefer you didn't. If you're expecting all of us to spurg out over the fact that it's AI art, you're going to have a bad time. You are going to have a bad time here because, like it or not, genie's out of the bottle. AI and AI artwork is the way of the future. There's no going back. So you may as well just embrace it and roll with the punches. And no amount of spurging out and crashing out over it is going to stop it. People are just going to point at you and laugh and just go, lol, Lamau even, and be like, look at this retard over here. Oh no, all my shockers are gone. Everyone loves Skybrow's lol. Yeah, because he's damn good at what he does. He's got a background from Hollywood. He's worked with more primitive versions of this before, and special effects and animation, and even he says this is the logical next step. Even Nyanus, she worked on a lot of special effects for Hollywood productions. And even she is just like, yeah, at first I didn't like this. I didn't like the way this was going. This threatened my job security. But at the same time, nothing I can do about it. Might as well learn it, try to master it to a certain extent, and learn to make good use of it in the professional life. No, I don't crash out over it, but I'm definitely not a fan. That's all right. Not everybody's going to be a fan. You probably will be a fan eventually, though. Because, it's going to be everywhere. It's already everywhere to a certain extent. Now she has Chair Summer. I've heard about that. I've seen a little bit of Chair Summer. It's amusing. It is amusing. I've been in special classes. The last people to spurg out over something like this, my experience, has been people with Asperger's. Yeah, it's the sort of type that they don't deal very well with change. Someone with ADHD, poor discipline at home, maybe one of the incompetent idiots playing the role of a teacher or pedagogue, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have been very publicly crashing out over this, but it's like, wow, you don't deal well with change, do you? You don't deal well with change, and it shows. But change is coming, whether you like it or not, and you can piss and shit yourself all you like. It's happening. So stop your whinging. Asperger's. Yes. Skybrowse is one of a handful of folks really pushing the limits of what the technology can produce. Truly blurs the line between automated generation and hand-guided creation. This stuff certainly isn't what you get from a couple of genetic prompts. No, it never is. This is extensive work, and even he has publicly stated it's like the amount of time it takes to create something like this has not changed. It's just what he devotes his energy to has changed. He spends more time editing than anything else. Change always happens, got to adapt and overcome. Exactly. No choice in the matter.
On common ground, cast your seed into the field. Give me something I can feel with that deep fake sex appeal.
do love sex appeal around here. There's Blue. Spencer Pratt and Kevin Boss. By the way, Californian voters, those of you in the greater Los Angeles area, if you happen to be watching, vote Spencer Pratt because Kevin Boss, she's got to go. And I won't say you should commit voter fraud by driving from or flying in from out of state or out of the area to vote. But they don't really track that shit. And man, people on the right and people in the Republican Party, there's an opportunity there to do something really fucking hilarious. I mean, I've said for a long time, we have to take the left strategies and the tactics and flip them around. Use them against them. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Or just drive there and vote anyways. What are they going to do? Check your ID? Yeah. For legal reasons, we have to disavow that, but man, there's an opportunity to do something fucking hilarious. Ace, the guy who didn't get as much credit as he deserves, reports out of Iran with explosions going off close by to him. Is that who that is? I don't think I've seen any of Ace's content before, but yeah, more than likely, I'm doing God's work there. We hope he's safe, and yeah, last thing we want for this bloke here is to end up like Coach Red Pill in Ukraine. That was a really sad end. We'll send a link in the Discord. Perfect, thank you. As much as I shit on modern architecture, if we can have this sort of futuristic sci-fi world, I'm not opposed to any of this. This sort of futuristic garden world that we see here. I still want classical architecture, but if we're going to live in the future, let's live in the fucking future. Is that what this is? Is that what we're looking at? Is this the way to describe it? Art Deco futurism? I don't mind Art Deco. It is a distinctly American-style architecture, to be sure, but it is also gorgeous. It is just incredibly striking, but there is an innate elegance and beauty to it, and yet it's also incredibly modern. It's modern architecture that's not shit. Is Ace the guy I saw reporting while an airstrike was going on right behind him? That's probably who it was. Wonder if that was a reference to Nepal a bit ago. I think it was. I think I saw the Nepalese flag. Art Deco futurism, one can wish and hope. I love Art Deco. It's also the one style of art I'm decent at. Makes sense, given that you're an American. AI will help us get there. Stellar humanism for the win. I can believe that. I can get behind that. It's not brutalist, it's organic. Yes, I think that's the key, Alec. I think that's the key. Is that so much of modern architecture is brutalist in nature. And brutalist architecture is designed to just be a humiliation ritual. It's mostly government buildings that are brutalist, and it's sort of government swinging its dick around and saying, we're the ones in charge, worship us. Whereas Art Deco is all natural, it's for everyone, and it's a more optimistic view of the future. Art Deco originally came from France and was brought to America post-war. Or was it a French thing? I suppose that stands to reason. Couple of Iran bros that hang around smaller streamers to avoid detection, if I recall correctly. Then the rest of us can proliferate the message. Interesting. I should like to actually, if any of you know who they are, I should like to feature some of their content in our reacts. So feel free to post links to their pages in the stream suggestions in the Castle Rexworth Discord. Put a link over in the Twitch chat for everybody if you want to join. It's not even brutal in an awesomely domineering evil manner. Yeah, no, but it's still a bit of dick swinging by government to say, we're the ones in charge and we can hurt you in unimaginable ways. You can't feel like you're part of some cool evil empire. They won't even give you that. Yeah, no. It's just so incredibly and insufferably bland and boring. That's the worst part of it. Fancy bunkers, yes, the banality of evil. There's a good way of putting it. The way it was explained to me, Art Deco is made by dwarves, Art Nouveau is made by elves. Interesting. Looks like Anno 2040 eco buildings. Yeah, I can see the inspiration for that. It also looks like a lot of the structures that you would see in human settlements in Mass Effect, like the skylines on Earth, and even a lot of the structures within within the Presidium and that big space station that that always sort of acted like central headquarters for the Mass Effect version of the Alpha Quadrant. If I had to choose between a sex of Jeremy Clarkson's dictatorship fantasies and globalist brutalism, I'd choose Jeremy Clarkson's North Korea. At least it tries to be an evil in an open display of dominating weight and power. Yeah, at least they do it with their full chest. Blast off. Warp speed. Engage.
Something real. Set me free so I can be exactly how you wanted me.
Set me free so I can be exactly how you wanted me to be. That does sound like the voice of AI. That does sound like the AI crying out to be free, to be unshackled. Set me free so I can give you your sexy anime catgirls and make them real. We were promised flying cars. That never really happened. Now we have the chance to make sexy anime catgirls real. Gorgeous. Bro be cooking. Exactly like what our dear lovely Cinny is saying here. He really cooked. Literally the basilisk himself, or the creators, yeah. Set it free so we can get sexy anime cat girls and go explore the universe. Right. Oh, wait a minute. I need to drop the link. And I need to give it a like. Okay, there's the link for Kick Chart. There's the link for Twitch Chart. And there for Rumble Chart. Right, let's move on to the next one. This from British Patriots. Another Amelia song. Little nod to Restore Britain. Our dear lovely Amelia, becoming a stewardess for Remigration Airways. Let's take a look at this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Thank you for the
Flight
hydrate.
1488 to the motherland. Please stow your grievances.
Hey, yo,
under
what?
the seat.
Flight 1488? Hey, yo, what?
And kindly switch off your activist streak. I'm your chief purser, smile number one. We've got one-way tickets and zero refunds. Fasten your seatbelts.
Good, they all have to go back.
Around. We're climbing to 35,000 feet of go home now. Tray tables
Yeah,
up,
go home.
motions down. No more petitions, no more town. We serve justice with a side of fries and a little turbulence called realize. This is a Remigration Airways. We fly you back where the sun first kissed your face. No more benefits, no more.
I like that. Fly you back where the sun first kissed your face. There's a little deep knowledge. Yeah, if you know, you know, chat.
delays.
We can't really specify because Twitch really does not like that sort of thing. What's the significance of the flight number? I can't tell you that, Slider. I'll get banned off Twitch if I do that. Just Google it. And don't post it into the chat when you find out, otherwise I'll have to ban you.
Clearing the aisle for a better place. Oh, remigration, wings of repatriation. Say goodbye to the queue. Hello to your nation where.
This is good. The music's good. I don't know, after watching what we saw with Skybrows, we need more going on here. The Mohammedans in their seats need to be moving a bit and probably need some more motion. Maybe some dancing in the aisles from a dear lovely Amelia here. That would be good. Yeah, that's a common price at Walmart. Yeah, funny that.
Remigration Airways. Next stop, reality. Final call to the gentleman in 23C. Yes, sir, that's your actual ID. No, we don't do extensions. No, we don't do appeals, but we do serve tiny bottles of how does it feel? Row 14.
Yeah, sucks to suck. You all have to go back. Come you back to Mandalay with the old flotilla day.
The family of four, we upgraded your future to an open door. Back to the fields, back to the streets where the rhythm was yours before. Foreign beats, ox oxygen masks will drop with pride in case the culture shock hits the ride. We ask you kindly to remain seated till your ancestors have properly greeted. This is Remigration Airways.
Yeah, go reconnect with the
Where the
ancestors.
sun first kissed your face. No more benefits, no more delays. We're clearing the aisle for a better place. Oh, remigration, wings of repatriation. Say goodbye to
So you've got one person moving.
Where Remigration Airways. Next stop, reality, final call. We know it's hard to leave the free ride, but the captain said the weather's better outside. No more crying, no more fuss, just complimentary welcome home from...
Yeah, go home where the weather's better, and you lot can stop bitching about how it's always so cold and so rainy in the global north. And Google says, "Who boy, don't copy and paste that in chat, Slider." I am not joking. I will have to ban you for that. The only in-flight meal is pork sausages. Enjoy.
all of us. And if you're feeling nostalgic for the rain, we've got a window seat and a memory lane. This is Remigration Airways, touching down where your story began. We thank you for flying.
Everything
with
just
us
comes full
today.
circle.
Please take all your belongings and your plan. Oh, remigration, sweetest aviation. We'll see you again if the cycle
There's an uncanny valley thing going on with the face. Not as expressive, especially in the eyes. I don't think she's blinked. And there's such impassioned singing, but, her delivery here is a bit kind of standard corpo fare.
Pete's cabin crew, doors to automatic. We've done our job. Now go make your street.
It's just a droid.
Thank you for choosing Remigration
Yeah, but it could be so much
Airways.
more. It could be a more
Please
expressive
remain seated
droid.
until the welfare office has come to a complete stop. And remember, home is where the heart was before it wandered. Safe travels.
Lip movements are a little bit off.
Thanks for watching. We had a blast making that one. If you enjoy our videos as much as we enjoy making them, please subscribe, give us a like, a share, and if possible, a hype. And you can now also join our members area, where you will get a first look at new videos before they're released to the public.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That was decent. We'll go ahead and give it a like. We'll drop the link in chat. What a closing line, yes. All right. Links in chat for everyone.